Yo, what is up guys? And today we're going to be talking all about the new limited unit who is currently running in the rotation, and that unit is going to be a mid. So mid is a very fun unit to play with. Her animations look insane, and she is just all around very powerful, especially if you like to play very aggressively. We're basically going to be talking about how you want to build her, what Molagoras and skill enhances you want to use, and basically also showcase her in some PvP later on in this video as well. So looking at her skills really quickly, you're going to see her S3 is a single target allied targeted spell. It'll dispel 2 debuffs and also grant them swift attack. Swift attack is basically a new buff in the game. Basically at the end of that turn, you will increase that unit's CR by 50%. This will only activate once. You'll also give them attack buff. Now this is pretty similar to Amelia's S2, but going to be a lot better in some situations, which we'll talk about. But you'll see the animation in this skill, or on this skill, is actually insane. She looks amazing in the artwork here. I think it's a big reason why a lot of people are pulling for her. Now we have her S2. So her S2 is an AoE CR push. It'll go up to 25% at max Molagora. You'll also give everyone skill nullifier, and we'll give her an extra turn. So basically what you want to do is you S2, you CR push everyone by 25%, then you target an ally with your S3, and that'll make it so they get pushed up by another 50%, and they'll have attack buff and a skill nullifier buff. Now her S1, guys, is going to be a single target attack that will also increase her CR by 15% at plus 5 Molagora. Now the thing is, if you soul burn this, you'll actually CR push everyone on your team. And the reason why this is very good, by the way, is because if you're facing off against a Politis or a Celine, and they are preventing you from using your S2 and your S3 because they are non-attack skills, you can actually just soul burn your S1 and get CR push that way as well. So her skill is very strong, very combat readiness oriented. So you're going to want to use her in an aggressive comp and try to take the first turn with her and try to boost up a strong damage dealing unit so you can actually one-shot something with that CR push and that attack buff. So yeah, she's going to pair very good with very aggressive high damage units. Kisei, Sid, even Giselle if you still have her built. So very good in aggressive team compositions. Now for Molagoras and skill enhances, definitely want to max out her S3 to reduce the cooldown in case you get another one off. Max out her S2 for that extra combat readiness push. You want to get this maxed out and get as much combat readiness as possible. And her S1, you want to get to plus 5 for that combat readiness. Her damage is pretty weak, so you don't have to really worry about it too much. Just keep in mind, just want all the skill cooldowns and also the combat readiness pushes maximized. Now for her build, guys. So basically all you really need on her is speed for the most part. Some people like to put her on a little bit slower of a build at like 270, 260, 250 speed even, with like very bulky stats and very high effect resist to make her more of a support unit. But I personally find her a lot more fun if you put her on a high speed build to CR push your team. You just have to be careful that you don't bring her into super fast units because her base speed is only at 117, unlike the other openers which can be like 124, 128, etc. So for that reason, when I do put her on this high speed build, I can only really speed contest units that aren't like Conquerlius, Peiras, Luas, and like Rands and stuff like that. So you want to bring her into already kind of slow teams and make sure you get that first turn. Now for set, guys, you just want speed set, and the secondary set is really up to you. You can go for stuff like HP set. Definitely not effective set because she has no debuffs. I just have her on this because yeah, it's just how the gear worked out. Effect resist set is okay, defense set is okay as well. Even like a dual attack unity set is fine for S1 as well. Now for artifact, guys, I like her on her own artifact. If you run her on the more tankier build, I've seen her run on stuff like Proof of Valor, Bastion of Hope, etc. But for the most part, if you want to play her very fast, Fan of Light and Dark is for you. Now if you don't have a lot of speed gear, guys, and you can't reach like 270 speed plus, I'll definitely recommend putting her a bit slower. Anything above like 250 is fine. Just put a lot of bulk on her and use that tanky artifact like Proof of Valor, like I said. And she is still very good. You just can't speed contest with her. You just have to use her more kind of like a secondary like CR pusher in your team comp. Ideally, you want something else to go before her as well. Yeah, so all in all, guys, this unit is very powerful for PvP, especially in aggressive comps, like I said. For PvE, not really used that much because her CR pushing isn't really useful, to be honest. She doesn't really heal or provide attack buffs too often besides her S3, which is only a single target. You're way better off using another support unit, but for PvP, if you can take the first turn or play aggressive with her, she's very strong. So here's the first battle of Guild Wars, guys. Now this is a new season, so the enemies might be a little bit weaker than they usually are, but still should be a good test of her strength nonetheless. Basically, I decided to bring her into a Conquerlius team, which is kind of scary because Conquerlius is usually faster than mids without, speed imprints and stuff like that. But that is why I brought my villager to speed imprint her. Also, you're going to see I have a Giselle on my team because I want to boost her and actually one-shot something with her. She'll take an extra turn as well and do a lot of damage. And you're just going to see when you take the first turn with the mid, she is very strong. So there's no non-attack skill counters on the enemy side like Celine or Politis, so I can S2 very freely, give everyone skill nullifier, CR push them, and also even push up my Giselle here. And you can see like how easy it is when a mid takes the first turn in a very, very aggressive comp. So you're going to see now that Giselle takes her turn here, she's going to do a ton of damage. So basically the way this works is just S3 something, you one-shot them, and you just S1 with it right after. So I'm going to S3 the Rem here with Giselle. She is very, very good with CR pushing effects because of her passive, so she's a very, very good unit to pair with a mid. One shots, 27k, no problem. Because of the skill nullifier that I had, she actually takes no damage from the Rimuru as well. And then I can S1 very, very freely and just, soul burn this, and he should just die here, right? No crit though, which is unlucky. I think her gear might be a little weird, but anyways, it worked out anyways. But yeah, you're gonna see like just a mid's power is super, super strong. She has that CR push in her artifact, and then after the unit takes the turn, they get another CR push after, which makes her very, very powerful. So yeah, just cleaning up very quickly, this fight's already over, obviously. But yeah, this is a mid strength in her S3, S2, S3, right? That skill nully to prevent the counterattacks, whatever it is, going off. And the fact that she pushes with her artifact with that CR push, and then after they take a turn, they could push themselves again, makes them be able to take, so many turns over and over. So yeah, super, super strong, very, very big fan of a mid, and she's just super, super fun to play with here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this battle though, just gonna end very soon. So, and here we go with another Guild Wars battle here. So this time I didn't bring a speed imprint because I was kind of confident. I changed the gear up a little bit to make it more faster. And you're gonna see I actually do take that first turn again against this team comp. So I'm actually going to S2 here, CR push my team. You're gonna see Milim actually gets pushed ahead of the Conqueror Elias. This is so fat of a combat readiness push. 25% AoE is insane. I actually get very surprised every time I use this. Honestly, this Landy I thought would be on Guiding Light, but it's not. That's why I did bring this Milim to kind of counter her, but it works out fine because even if she did have Guiding Light, it would get removed here. So I'm actually going to attack buff this Milim here. She gets the critical hit damage buff as well from the artifact, and this is just going to one-shot no matter what. And you're going to see with the swift attack, she'll actually take like another turn pretty easily, right? You're going to see she gets pushed super, super far ahead. She might even lap the Shu again. Kind of doubt it actually, but it might happen. You're going to see, this fight is pretty much won already because after that Landy dies, there's no real way to kill my Violet, which is kind of like my late game carry here who can kind of solo the enemy side. So for that reason, this fight's pretty much over, but we'll just play it out and you guys can see how this kind of works. So yeah, you're going to see Milim does take that extra turn here. And yeah, just because of a mid's S3 swift attack and from her CR push from the artifact and the S2 and the attack buff, she's able to one-shot that Landy, who's honestly built very, very tanky for Landy. And yeah, you're going to see this is the late game portion of this battle. Like I said, what happened was Shu kind of got really, really lucky and kind of one-shot everyone. But this is the reason why I brought this specific team comp, right? I actually have the Violet here because I knew Landy would get one-shot in the opener with my Amid and Milim combo. And I know you can solo these two if the RNG turns out to be really bad, which it kind of did end up happening. So very important that you bring the right units to actually, counter the enemy side, obviously, and not really just think about the one-dimensional aspect of one-shotting the enemy if the enemy can't really all die in one turn. So yeah, I win the battle here. You're going to see it was all pretty much set up by a mid because if that Landy lived, then what would happen is she would just, kind of solo my team here, especially if my Violet doesn't dodge. But now that I did get rid of that Landy, this fight is over and super easy. So yeah, overall guys, the mid is just a very, very powerful unit for aggressive players, like I said. Very fun, and I'm a big fan of her artwork and animations. Probably you guys are too, but yeah, super, super strong with that skill nully, like I said. And the fact that she can CR push twice, basically, or actually like 3 times in one turn with her S2, then her artifact with that S3, and then her S3 itself makes her extremely, extremely powerful. And you have a way to actually avoid those pesky combat readiness pushing counters, such as like Celine and Politis with her S1, as long as you have souls with her. That being said, I think this unit is a must pull. She's extremely, extremely fun to play with. Super, super beautiful of a unit, and I really enjoy playing with her. So her banner, guys, will be running until the 9th of March. And like I said, she is limited, so you definitely want to make sure you pick her up. And if you don't get her artifact, you want to use her, I highly recommend getting it. It is super, super powerful on her from the Powder of Knowledge shop. That being said, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.